we're celebrating cancer survivors, and today we're here with Stevie Naids from the Venetian Isles chapter to share her cancer journey and also tell us about the exciting new survivorship mentor program that she has already enrolled in. Welcome, Stevie.
Thank you so much, Kay. I'm delighted to be here.
Well, Stevie, I've heard you speak at a few of our meetings, the president's meetings in the past, and you're always powerful and inspiring. So why don't you just tell everybody else about your cancer journey?
Well, my cancer journey began with what was known as occult breast cancer, which is very, very unusual. About 10% of the cases are as such. And there are no tumors, no breast tumors, there's no breast involvement whatsoever. The entire cancer is in the lymph node system. In my particular case, was in my lymph node system of my left axillary lymph system. And so because of that, I basically went for a routine mammogram. I was called back to have some more studies done because it looked a little unusual. And no tumor was ever found. No involvement was ever found in my left breast. And that's what made it so unusual. I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer.
Oh my.
So I know, so it sounds like, how could you have nothing in your breast and yet go so far down the staging line
Right.
with something like that? But the staging was mainly because of the fact that it had gotten, whatever was there had somehow gotten from the breast into the lymphatic system, which made it an automatic stage 3 in my case. I was going to require, and I did require, lymph node dissection. I chose to have complete dissection of all the lymph nodes, my choice on that side, because it made me more comfortable in terms of outcomes. And I also was invited to have directed therapy at that time. Now I'm going back 6 years, Kay.
Okay.
And there was a new regimen that had just come onto the Medicare scene. It had been around for a little while. It was in research, fabulous results, but it had just been approved. My luck, just approved by Medicare, which was wonderful. So yes,
Stevie, let me ask you this. We're talking about your treatment. You were a PAPCOR member when you were diagnosed.
yes.
So you were very familiar with Sylvester. So was Sylvester where you
Oh,
went for your treatment?
yes, I did go to Sylvester. My experience with Sylvester really started with the very first person that I called in my community, someone I didn't know, because I was always and have been a PAP member, but I
Right.
wasn't extremely active in terms of knowing everyone and going to every meeting, and so I was a little bit standoffish in that way. But when I needed help, they were there for me.
Well, that's
I called this individual. She handled everything for me. She got me to the right people in the shortest amount of time and directly down to Sylvester in Deerfield. And I was seeing my oncologist after I had some preliminary interviews with other cancer specialists there. And I saw the oncologist that I had chosen within maybe a day or so.
that's
It was
fantastic.
so rapid. It was so, I felt, beautifully done,
Mhm.
especially for someone who's extremely anxious and concerned and totally unaware of what's going to happen and what all the possibilities could be.
So that's one of the benefits of being a PAPCOR member is we do have that wonderful referral program, which fast tracks our members into Sylvester. So you mentioned too that, obviously you knew about supporting research from being a member of the PAPCOR, but now you were benefiting from getting fairly new research for your treatment.
Exactly. I got the benefit just by being a PAP member. I got the benefit of the latest cancer research and protocols that were available for the type of genome
Mm,
cancer that I happen to have.
right.
And I mean, there's so many different types of breast cancer and there's so many different types of treatments. So it all starts obviously with biopsies and blood
Mhm.
testing, and then to find out what that specific genome is in your particular case, or is not, even sometimes more important, is not. Sometimes there are no genomes that they can identify. Everything seems to come up negative, and then they're really kind of treating your cancer with uh, the best that they've got, the best
Right.
information and the best treatment that they have. Just accidentally fell into a category that was so new and so forefront on the cancer treatment uh, venue at that point, that I said, my goodness, I got cancer the right day, the right time, and this was the best thing that could have possibly happened. Had it happened 7 to 10 years earlier, you'd be interviewing somebody else right now.
My
This never
goodness.
would have happened for
So
me.
Stevie, where are you now in the process?
I am 6 years out in the
Oh,
process of no
wonderful,
recurrence, as
wonderful.
healthy as I can possibly be in every way. I still go every 6 months for evaluations.
Mhm,
I'm still seeing the oncologist. I don't really need to see some of the others
mhm.
at this point, but I still see the oncologist every 6 months. We go through a whole battery of exams and, of course, conversations. All the latest is discussed once again, and then the two of us make a decision together as a team. And
Well,
that's what's
talking
so
about, yeah,
beautiful
it
about
is.
Sylvester.
It is. I mean, I've heard the team phrase used several times in several of the different conversations that we're having with the survivors. But what I love about what's happening right now is not only do you have the incredible PAP team and you have the team that interacts with Sylvester that's there to support you through the journey, but we are launching a brand new mentorship program that will help newly diagnosed people with cancer who are being treated at Sylvester and who are PAP members get a mentor, someone who's in the pack corps that's going to be kind of like be their buddy through the process. And I know, Stevie, when you heard about this program, you enrolled immediately and you've already had your first training. So can you tell us, A, why you wanted to get involved, and B, what do you took out of the training and what you're looking forward to?
I will do that. I want to be involved because I learned through my own cancer journey about the benefit of those around me as support systems. And I'm going even, I mean, in my home, I'm very fortunate. I have wonderful support. I'm going outside of my home. There were people that I didn't realize were there for me. And in one particular instance, and I remember telling this in many of my programs where I told about my story, and I'm going to make it as brief as I can, but I remember, and I'm a nurse, by the way, Kay. I'm a registered
Oh,
nurse, and yes,
okay.
and for many, many years, and a healthcare provider. So I was always the one who took care of everyone. I knew how to take care of it. I knew what to do, so on and so forth. When I got deeper into my own treatment, I lost it. I literally lost it. I couldn't tell you when to take an aspirin or when to take something for my toe. I couldn't answer. I was gone. I couldn't take care of myself. And in decision making and things like that. And I did have a neighbor around the corner who was also a registered nurse. We were casual friends.
Right.
One night I was very, very sick. And my husband didn't know what to do. I had all of these pills lined up in front of me to alleviate all of the different issues I could be facing with chemotherapy.
Mhm.
And I didn't even know which one I was facing. I mean, it was hitting me like a freight train.
Right.
And so I called my neighbor around the corner and I said to her, you know, could you do me a favor? She said, what's the matter? And I said, I'm sitting here. I am so sick, I can't think. I'm sitting here looking at a table full of medications. And you know, I know what every single one of them is. I
Mhm.
can't even tell you which bottle to pick up to take because I don't know what I'm doing.
Wow.
She came around the corner to me in 10 minutes. She took care of me.
Mm.
She helped this situation. I will never forget it as long as I live. And I was so fortunate in one of my presentations to one of the president's meetings that she was sitting in the audience, and
Oh,
she came up. she literally walked up crying, and I got to introduce her to the whole audience, this particular neighbor who's also a PAP member. And but my one of my issues was the sicker I got, the less I was able to ask for help,
Wow.
because you want to be strong, you want to be tough, because I always have been, and I didn't know how to be any other way. And she taught me that it was okay to call someone, whether it's the middle of the night or anything, and say, I need help right now. Please help me.
My goodness, Stevie, that is so emotional and so inspiring, but it also, you really see in your journey that her being there for you really has made you want to pivot and now be there for the next survivor.
Exactly. Exactly. So this is why my experience taught me that I got so much more out of this. And I really do want to go and mentor other breast cancer patients, other people who may experience some of the things that I did. And it's not so much the technical and the clinical things. The doctors help you with that. The nurses there who are oncology specialists, they can help you. I can answer questions, but that's really not what it's all about for me
Mhm.
and whoever it is that I'll be working with. What it's
Right.
all about is to be there and tell them that, yeah, this happens, and we're going to work this, and I hear you. I hear everything you're saying to me. I can feel it, and
Right.
we're going to work this through. I'm here. I'm here.
So, so Stevie, you had mentioned earlier that you have already taken the training program that Sylvester is giving for PAPCOR members to have them ready to be working with the
Yes.
cancer patients once the program is fully implemented. You said you learned something really interesting. Can you share that with us?
Yes, I did. In the training that Dr. Niera gave us last week, by the way, it was excellent training. I've been through other trainings as a nurse, and I have worked with social services and all sorts of different avenues of healthcare. Yes, her training was impeccable, and I really enjoyed it. The one thing that really resonated with me, and I'm hoping that it did with the other mentors, um, is that we must remember, as a mentor, you're there to start with this individual where at whatever point they're at. Your story, even though I just told you a little bit of mine, your story isn't necessarily what's going to help them through what they're going through at any given time. You don't know. What you need to do is pause and listen to them. Listen, digest what they're really saying, digest what it is they need rather, digest what it is they need. Try to assess them at whatever point they're entering this program. It's not all about us and how excited we are to help them and how excited we are to tell them everything that happened to us. No, we're not there to talk, we're there to listen, just to listen, to validate, listen, to ask them what it is they would like from us at any given moment. What can I do right now to help you with wherever you are right at this moment? Can we find a common place right now that I can help you?
Stevie, this is remarkable. I think this is going to be a really game-changing program that the Popcorn Sylvester are doing to really help our members. And I just want to thank you so much for your involvement and for sharing your story and now, being there to help, as I said, support the next survivor. So thank you so much, and we appreciate your sharing your journey on Patch.